$2,000. And that's not it, folks. $2,500. So let's go ahead and spin that, and hopefully we get a win. That is a double zero. That's not good. Ouch! 500, 500. Sorry, 500, 500. And now 1,000. And we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's go ahead and spin, and let's pray. Hey, what's up there, roulette players? What's going on? I'm your host, Lenny, and I got another roulette strategy for you containing the No Boss system. Now, the No Boss, this supposedly, this was sent into the Roulette Master, and they call it the Bulletproof No Boss system. Bulletproof. Let's prove that wrong. Well, we'll try to prove it wrong, but let's see if we can prove it right. All right. So with this system, we do have a huge bankroll for the first player. The first player has a $20,800 bankroll, and I would hate to lose 20 grand. But this is the system, so we're gonna go ahead and we are going to place the bets. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So with this system, we're going to start off with $100 units, and we are going to be playing, the last one that hit was the singles. So let's go ahead and place the bets, 100 and 100, and let's go ahead and spin. And let me just let you know what we're going to be doing. We are going to be trying for a $5,200 profit. However, he's going to be satisfied with $2,080. So let's go ahead and keep the momentum going. So the first one he won. So now let's change the bet and play again and spin. All right, so he's got a $100 win so far. That's a 17 black. That is a no win. All right, so let's see. Okay, the next bet now. This is a lot of money, but $300. $300 on this one. And let's go ahead and spin. This is the No Boss system, but this is the Bulletproof. The Bulletproof. Let's see if this Bulletproof works. All right, so that was a 6. That was 33, so I believe that was a win. So we go back to 100, 100 here, 100 there, and spin. We are up $200 now, and let's go ahead and spin. That's a 23 red. That is another fantastic win. So we're going to go ahead and rebet. And we're going to take that first one out. We're going to take both of those out and we're going to only play 100 there and 100 there, and let's go ahead and spin. All right, let's see how this Bulletproof works. All right, that's a 3 red. All right, that's another win. And this is Bulletproof. If you decide that you don't want to try for the full $2,080, this is a great system. You could walk away right now with this profit. All right, so but we're going to clear this out, and we're going to play the full system out. However, this is Bulletproof. You get out now. You got $400. You walk away from this casino and go home a winner, because bad stuff like that can happen. All right, but we are going to put $300 down now. 300 on that and 300 on that, and let's go ahead and spin. And I believe this will take us to 300, and that's a 6 black. That's another loss. See, bad things can happen when you stick around the casino. And now this is where it gets ugly, folks, because now, that's why we have such a huge bankroll. But now, we're going to clear this. Hold on. But now, we're going to pick $1,000 here because we are putting down $2,000. And that's not it, folks. $2,500. So let's go ahead and spin that, and hopefully we get a win. That is a double zero. That's not good. Ouch! Wow, this bulletproof does not work. It works if you left a lot earlier. All right, now we are going to be putting down 500, 500. Sorry, 500, 500. And now 1,000, and we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's go ahead and spin, and let's pray. Let's pray that we don't get a loss. And that's a 28 black. That is a win. And that's a $7,500 win. So let's see where we are at. We're at $2,100. That is our goal. Okay, now we are going to start. We're going to go back to base of $100 on each, but we are only going to play until we lose with base bet, and that is it. So 9 was the last to play, so we're going to 100 and 100. 10, that's a loss. All right, we're going to take that loss and run. All right, so with that system, we did make $1,900. Not bad for a day's paycheck. Player number 2 is going to have a $5,200 bankroll. So let's go ahead and let's place these bets. He's going to be paying $25 units. So he's going to be putting 25 and 25. Now his goal is only $1,300. $1,300 is his goal. However, he will be happy with $520. Let's go ahead and place those bets. Last one to come in was that, so we're going to go 25 and 25 and spin. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. That's a 25 red. That is a win. We'll take it. Rebet. And we're going to take that one out, and we're going to replace it over there. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 16 red. That's another win. All right. So now we're going to go 25 there, 25 there, and spin. That's a 4 black. That's a win. All right. So we're going to rebet. And we're not going to rebet. We're going to put 25 there and 25 there and spin. Let's go ahead and spin. Let's see. If you want to make $100, this is a quick way to do it. That's a 15 black. That is a win. All right. And let's go ahead and let's place the bets again. 25 there, 25 there, and spin. Let's see how far we can take this minimum bet up to. That's a 5 red. That is a win. I just changed over to that one. So we're going to put 25 there, 25 there, and spin. We're at $125. He'll be happy once he reaches 525. That's a 29 black. That's a win, I believe. It is. So we're going to put 25 there and 25 there and spin. Remember, you can walk away anytime you want. You don't have to play to 10%. But 10% is a good goal. All right, so now we got the win there. So let's go ahead and let's place the bets again and spin. All right, we're at 175. Good time to walk away after this win. There's a win. There's $200. Now you're up $200. That's a perfect time to get out. But let's go ahead and play this system out. So we're going to play 25 there. Right? Yep. And 25 there. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 4 black. That's a good one. Awesome. So now we're going to go 25 and 25 and spin. That's a 7 red. That's a loss. So now what we got to do is we got to put 75 on each one that didn't come in. So we're going to put 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, and 25. That's a $75. That's a $150 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. That is a 31 black. I believe that's a win. It is. So we are up good money. So let's go ahead and place the new bets at 25 and 25 and spin. We're at $250. All right, and that is a 31 black. All right, that is a loss of $50. So we're going 75 and 75 and spin. All right, let's see if we can get this win. That's a 28 black. That's another loss. So let's go ahead and let's rebet. And this time we're going up to 625 on each. So let's clear this out. Let's $625 on each. So we're going 500, 500, and 625. All right, that is a $1,250 bet. Yes, that is correct. So let's go ahead and spin. If we win this, we're going to be way up. That's a 29 black. That is a loss, though. Oh, my goodness. Oh, so now the big bet is going to be $1,875 on each. That's 1,000. 1,000, 1,000, and let's grab a 500, and let's grab a couple of these, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and now we need $75, so let's go with 25 each. Okay, the total bet is $3,750. Now, this, I wouldn't have gone this far, but anyway, this is the system. So let's go ahead and bet. Now, if we win, we are up huge money. 6, that is a win. So now we're up $1,875. Let's see what we're up. All right, we are up $675. Our goal was $520 to reset. So we're just going to play minimum bets until we lose. All right, so let's go ahead and, all right, so now we're going to put 25 there, 25 there, and spin. That's a 7, red. That's a loss. But that's okay. We only lost $50, and that brings us to where we need to be. $625 win. Not bad for a day's pay. All right, so that's $625. If you have, and that's of course if the machine will let you bet $3,750, you might be able to do that on a table, but $3,750, actually it was more than that, was it? No, $3,750. You might be able to do that on a table. However, you might not. So anyway, keep that in mind. Make sure you look at those limits. Those limits are what keeps these systems down. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get to the next player. To the third player. The third player is going to be using $10 units, and they are going to be betting $10 on the two that didn't come in last. That's 10 and 10. And let's go ahead and spin. And their goal is $520, but a 208 or a 210 in this case will make them happy and they'll walk away with that. So let's go ahead and place the bets again. I believe we got a win, so let's rebet. And let's take away what was last that came in, that high side. So let's go ahead there and spin. All right, we're up $10. We are looking to get to $210. And then we will play minimum bet till we lose. All right, and that's a 22 black. That's a good number. So let's go ahead and let's place the bets here and here and spin. All right, we're up $20. That's a 36 red. That's a win. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and rebet, but we're going to take away that one and put that one and spin. All right, we're up $30. That is a 27 red. All right, that's a loss. So what we do is with the loss, you know what we do. We put 30 on each for a $60 total bet. And we are trying to get to 210. So let's spin and see what happens. That's a 21 red. That is a win, I believe it is. And now we're going to go 10 and 10 and spin. Now we're up $40. We got a profit. That's a 17 black. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to rebet and we're going to add 30 and make this 30 and spin. All right, and let's see if we make this, we'll be up $50 and we'll gain another $10. That's a 30. That is a win. So we just gained another $10. So now we're going to reset to 10 and 10 and spin. That's a 4 black. That's a win. So let's just go ahead and put the 10 there, put the 10 there, and spin. We got a $60. We're up to $60. That's a 30 red. All right, that's another win. So now we're going to put 10 there and 10 there and spin. We're up $70. That's a 26 black. That is another loss. That is a loss. So that's okay, though. We're going to put $30 here and $30 here, and let's spin. All right, hopefully we get this win. If we do, we'll be way up. That's a 27 red. That is another loss. Okay, so now we go up higher. Now we got to go to $250 on each. So we're going to go to 100, 100, 200, 100, 200, and we're going to 50, 25, 50, 25, 50, and spin. All right, we're going with a $500 bet now. If we hit, we'd be way up. That's a 25. That is a loss, though. Wow. Look at all them losses. 4 losses with the no boss. That's very unusual. Okay, now we're going to the final bet. The final bet is going to be 500 there, 500 there, and we're going to go to hundreds, 6, 7, 6, 7, and we're going to go to 50, 25, 25, 25, 25, and we are going to bet this, and this will be our bankroll. Spin. All right, this is a very dangerous game, but it could be fun. That's a 24. That is a win. Awesome. Now we're up. And we are going to place 25 there, 25 there. And we are going to spin, and we're up $240. We're past the point of no return. That is an 11. That is a win. So we're just going to put 25 there, 25 there, and spin. All right, and we're just going to take these 25s until we don't lose any more. Oh, actually, shoot. All right, that's a loss. Okay, I made a mistake. That should have only been $20 that I lost. However, it's fine, $215. But those should have been $10 bets, not $25 bets. So we made $215. All right. But that's a way you could play. I mean, once you get up that high, just bet $50 and see what you can do. But that's not what the plan was. Okay, the next play is going to be using $5 units. They're looking to make $235. That's 25% of their bankroll. But if they get to $94, they're going to be happy with that, and they'll start betting minimum bet till they lose. And their bankroll is $940. So let's go ahead and place them bets. So we're going to put 5 there, and let's go ahead and spin. It's a 15 black. That's a win. So we're going to rebet, and we're going to take that one off, actually. So we're going to put 5 there and 5 there and spin. It's a 29 black. That's a win. So we're going to put 5 there and spin. That's a 12 red. That is a win. We'll take it. We'll take $5 at a time. That's not a problem. 5 and 5 and spin. And what I like about this way is every time you hit, when you win on the backup bets, you're always going to be ahead. All right, that's a miss. So what we're going to do now is we are going to be putting $15 on each. And spin. All right, that's a $30 total bet. All right, that's a 7 red. That is a loss. So now the next level is going to be $125. So 100, 100, 25, and let's go ahead and spin for a $250 total bet. That is a 30. That is a win. And where are we at now? We are at, let's see where we're at. But first, let's just put the $5 bets in. $5 at that one and that one. And let's see where we're at. Okay, we're up $100. We are at our minimum bet. So we are just going to bet the minimum until we lose. All right, so the first spin is a 7. That is a win, I believe. It is. So we're going to rebet. We're going to put 5 there, and spin. All right. And that is a 28 black. I believe that is that's our win. Okay, that's good. And we're going to put $5 there, $5 there, and spin. I just moved it over. That's why I didn't realize. Yeah, we moved it over. That's a 15 black. That is a win. We'll take that win. We'll keep taking these wins until we lose. All right, that's 5 and 5 and spin. All right, and we're going to go ahead and spin. And that is a 4 black. That is a win. All right, so we're going to go here and here now and spin. Okay, that's a 25 red. I believe that's a win. It is. Don't forget, we got a $520 goal. So if we make that goal, we will stop there. All right, it's either we make our goal or the next loss, whichever comes first. That's a 36 red. That's a loss. that's it then, guys. All right, so we made $115 for player number 4 at $5 bets. Okay, and we are at our final player. Our final player has a bankroll of $208. It's a good bankroll, and that is their goal is to just make 52 bucks, but they'll be happy. They'll be happy if they reach $21. So let's go ahead and place the bets. So we'll be placing $1 there and $1 there and spin. So this is good for your low ballers that you want to play really with a really small bankroll. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put $1 there and $1 there and spin. All right. Remember, he's just trying to make $21 and then he'll be happy, but that is a loss. So what he's going to do with the loss is he's going to increase the bet to $3 on each. And spin. And this will take him into profit. That's the good thing. All right, that's a 7 though. That is a loss, so that's not going to get him into profit. Now his next bet is a little bit high, but it's going to catapult him into the World of Roulette Hall of Fame. All right, so he's going to go ahead and bet. Now, this will catapult him way up. He might be past his 21 if he wins this, and he did. That is a $25 win, and now he's going back to minimum bets, and he's going to place, whoops, we don't want to do that, minimum bets. All right, minimum bets, and that's a, what was that, a 17? So let's put $1 there and $1 there, and let's go ahead and spin. We are going, oh, we know we're not at 21 yet. He didn't get catapulted that high. All right, that's a 26 black though. That is a win. So he's gonna, now he's gonna put $1 there and $1 there and spin. He needs $2 more to be able to play his minimum bet till he loses. All right, that is a win. So we're gonna take that, and this is his last time. If he gets this win, then that's great. That's a 22 black. That is a win. Okay, now he's back in business, and he's not gonna lose money. He is definitely leaving the casino with some money. All right, that's a 3 red. That is a win. So let's go ahead, rebet, and we don't rebet. Let's clear this out. Let's go there and spin. All right, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be at least going home with $2, $20. That's a 36 though. That's another $1. So he's going to put $1 there and $1 there and spin. So he's gonna be going home with $21 for sure. That's a 21 red. That is another win. All right, so we're gonna put $1 there and $1 there and spin. He's definitely going home with $22. That's a 20 black. That's a loss, I believe. It is. So he made $22. He's happy. He left the casino with 20 bucks in his pocket, a little more than $20 in his pocket. That is the way you stay disciplined, and that is definitely a good system. I like it. The only thing that gets scary is those higher bets. But if you're playing a $208 bankroll, and just as long as you're expect to lose it, you'll be fine. Because you as long as you can afford to lose the $208, and if you can make the $52 a day, that would be great. $52, that's a great profit. So let's just recap and let you know what's going on. So the first player was playing with $100 units. His bankroll was $20,800. He did, I think he really went deep into his bankroll, if I could remember correctly. I think he actually had to play the $7,500 on each. But he made it. He won that, and that really catapulted him up. And he ended up bringing home $1,900. So that was good. The second player had a $5,200 bankroll. He was playing with $25 units, and he actually he made $625. He actually made $625 on that bankroll, so he walked away a winner. The second player, he had a $2,080 bankroll, which is a normal size bankroll for most players. They can do the $2,000 bankroll, but the $2,000 bankroll is still a little high. But he ended up with $215 profit, so that was good. Now the next gentleman, he had a $940 bankroll. That's a pretty good size bankroll, and he made $750. He made $115. He made $115, so that was good, a good profit for him. Now the last player was only playing dollar units. They only had a $208 bankroll, and the last player made $22. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another roulette spin. Thank you guys, and you guys have a fabulous rest of your day.